The top stories this week are Pac-Man plays despite dispute, Greg Oden's first game as a Blazer, and is Manny Ramirez despicable?
This is the Rider Sports Corner for all your sports news.
Welcome to this week's edition of Rider Sports Corner. I'm Olivia Hoff.
And I'm Tom Malachi. Well, it's been a big week in sports, and no one knows that better than Adam Pac-Man Jones. Jones got into a scuffle with his bodyguard this past week in a bathroom of an upscale Dallas hotel. The police were called, but no charges were filed. Coach Wade Phillips allowed Jones to play in this past Sunday's game against the Arizona Cardinals, claiming that he was not in violation of his contract.
The Portland Trail Blazers and Greg Oden started their second season together, but you wouldn't know by the looks of their preseason game against the Sacramento Kings. Oden, who was sidelined last year due to a microfracture in his knee, announced his presence by dunking within the first 2 minutes. The former #1 draft choice had 13 points on the night in under 20 minutes of play. Portland fans were ecstatic, completely behind Oden on every play, even when he was called for a foul. Oden said he was just happy to be playing against someone other than his own team. Already, expectations are high for Oden and the Trailblazers when the regular season comes around.
This past Friday, it was Code Cranberry Day. Rob Haberman has the story.
It's a busy day here at Rider. The Lady Broncs are taking on Sacred Heart, while men's tennis is matching up against St. Peter's University. Code Cranberry Day kicked off with a barbecue setup just outside the field where fans and students alike could get free food and drinks. We were able to talk to some of the people about their thoughts on the day.
It's good. It's all the teams coming out to support the field hockey team. We're all a family. It's just nice to have everybody come out and support.
I'm good. I'm out here grilling, having a lot of fun, cooking hamburgers and hot dogs, and watching the game. Hopefully we're winning.
The heat wasn't just over at the grill, as the field hockey team played a tough match against Sacred Heart University. Diana Celebre and Allison Vogel led the team with a total of 3 goals over Sacred Heart, who only managed to squeeze 1 goal past Rider goalkeeper Lindsey Johnson. Diana Celebre and Allison Vogel were both very pleased with their efforts.
Pretty much we need to play as a team, we need to work together, and today we meshed together as a team, and that's why we were so successful.
This is the start of our conference games, and it's really important that we just play as a team and communicate and do what we can, to keep the score up and keep putting the ball in the cage. We went in today's game thinking it was a new season, and we really knew, all the conference teams have a lot of skill, and it's really all going to matter on who has the most heart and who has the most hustle.
Also in action was the men's tennis team against St. Peter's College in a MAC matchup. Doubles competition was canceled due to the late arrival of St. Peter's, but it didn't throw the men off their games. Senior Casey Jadlinski won his 3rd consecutive match. On the other side of the courts, sophomore Robert Olson won his 6th match in a row with straight sets 6-4, 6-0. Olson after the match.
Well, I just tried to, the kid I was playing, he was having a hard time keeping the ball in play. I just tried to keep the ball in play, slowed down my serve, made sure I didn't double fault, just tried to play error-free tennis.
Though there was some controversy involving some taunting by St. Peter's players, the match will still stand as a tie unless MAC officials decide to allow the 2 teams to finish their doubles match.
Yeah, boy! Hell yeah! Come on, son. Throw you out right now. Hey, Coach, watch. Come on, you get him out of here. I'll do something about it. Stop.
Well, Josh was playing, from what I saw, pretty well. He was up on the kid in the first set from what I saw. And then, I don't know, some calls got involved and just got a little, today, but for now we'll never know, so.
Well, it's been a long day here at the Rider Athletic Fields, but a successful Code Cranberry Day. This is Rob Haberman reporting for Rider Sports Corner.
With all the injuries to their players this year, the last thing the Indianapolis Colts need is an off-field issue. But that's exactly what they got. A Philadelphia man claims that Marvin Harrison shot him and has now filed a suit for damages. The man, who sustained severe mental and physical injuries during the April 28th incident, is seeking $100,000 in damages from Harrison. According to the suit, Harrison used his own gun in the shooting, hitting the man once before the man was shot again by somebody else. The plaintiff's lawyer told the Associated Press that Harrison has admitted that his gun was used in the shooting, making him liable for negligence, but has not admitted to firing the gun himself. The altercation took place outside of a car wash owned by the wide receiver in downtown Philadelphia.
Quarterback Tony Romo will be sidelined for 4 weeks due to a broken pinky finger. The injury occurred during the first play of overtime in a losing effort against the Cardinals this past Sunday. This is a huge loss for the Cowboys, who have been struggling as of late. Though Romo ranks second in the NFC in passer rating with 14 touchdowns and over 1,500 yards passing, the Cowboys are now third in the division, led by the first-place Giants and the tiebreaker-owning Redskins. Dallas will have to survive these next 4 weeks with the two-time Pro Bowler Brad Johnson at the helm. Well, it's a good thing the Mets didn't make the playoffs, because Ambreo Burgos will be jailed for 3 months while awaiting trial for the hit-and-run he was allegedly involved in. The accident, which happened on September 30th in the Dominican Republic, killed 2 women. Burgos disappeared after the incident but turned himself in on October 7th. He is accused of intentionally running the victims over after one of them, 29-year-old Angeli Fana, refused to go out on a date with him. Burgos claims to have been sitting in the back seat of the Hummer that struck the women with his cousin at the wheel. The Mets pitcher has also recently been accused of harassment and assault of his ex-girlfriend and illegal weapon possession.
Riders' swimming and diving team had their 17th annual alumni swim meet this past weekend. Sean Rainey had a chance to check it out.
Michael Phelps, the swimming thoroughbred. He's got 20 meters to swim. He's still in front. He looks so good, so easy. Another world record, Michael Phelps.
It may not be Michael Phelps in the pool, but every year since 1991, the swimming and diving team invite their alumni to the Richard A. Capola pool to take on the current swimming and diving team for a swim competition. Some of the races included are the 200 individual medley, the 100 breaststroke, and the 200 freestyle relay. With very high temperatures and humidity at the pool was filled with spectators who couldn't stay away from the races. Team members and alumni enjoyed themselves throughout the day by cheering each other on, and the large crowd in hand was very receptive to all the hard work the swimmers were putting in. Times for the races were kept, however the final score did not matter. The alumni showed the current team they still have what it takes in the pool by winning some of the races. The swimming and diving team will now be on the road until November. For the Rider Sports Corner, this has been Sean Rainey.
It seems that Yankee Stadium has closed its doors to events for good. The Bronx Bombers announced that they have scrapped plans to hold a ceremonial event to commemorate all the non-baseball events that took place in the house that Ruth built, including football and boxing. A concert was in the works with rumors of Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, and Paul McCartney performing. However, the team has decided that it would be appropriate if the last event held at the stadium were a baseball game. The Yankees planned the event to be a fundraiser for the baseball assistance team, but since it was canceled, the team will be making a $500,000 donation to the organization instead.
Is Los Angeles Dodgers left fielder Manny Ramirez despicable? Well, according to announcer Tim McCarver, his performance while playing in Boston for the Red Sox was just that. McCarver was quoted as saying, "Some of the things he did were simply despicable. Despicable, like not playing, refusing to play, forgetting what knee to limp on. And now it's washed, it's gone." And it really is. Since he was traded to the Dodgers, Ramirez battled a whopping .397 with 17 home runs and 53 RBIs. Ramirez responded to McCarver's accusations by saying, "I don't want to talk about the past. I don't have anything bad to say about Boston." Was Ramirez faking it in Beantown? I guess we'll never know. It's just another case of Manny being Manny.
College rivalries took a slight step too far as LSU defensive lineman Ricky Jean-Francois threatened Florida's Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Tim Tebow. Jean-Francois was quoted as saying, "If we get a good shot on Tebow, we're going to try our best to take him out of the game. I think every lineman wants to get a good hit on a Heisman Trophy winner." Later in the same day, the defensive tackle made a statement through LSU, saying that his previous statement was taken out of context and that he was referring to shutting down Florida's passing game rather than injuring Tebow. Tebow, however, planned on using the statements as motivation for the game.
The women's volleyball team took on St. Peter's this past Sunday. Our own Matt Metzger was there. Matt, what do you have for us?
With a loss last night on Saturday to Marist, the Rider Bronx look to rebound here at Alumni Gymnasium against St. Peter's.
Coming into this afternoon's game, the Bronx had lost 3 straight, and now they're faced with the injury to senior captain Lacey Johnson. Assistant coach Paul Lano comments on the injury to Lacey Johnson and how that injury will affect the team.
We absolutely miss what Lacey brings in her defense and her hitting, but what we're really missing is her blocking right now. We could use her blocking, and yesterday was a big factor. Today, not so much. So, we definitely are anticipating getting her back pretty soon.
The Bronx and the Peahens battled through 5 tough sets, but in the end, St. Peter's handed Ryder its 4th straight defeat. Amy Giroux reacts to the tough loss.
It's really hard because, especially this game, it was a really, really close game, and every point you had to fight for it. I mean, it's really hard. I think it's harder to lose games like that than it is when you get blown out. But, I mean, you get over it, you come back, and you practice harder this week.
With the Bronx leading 2-1 after 3 sets, they were unable to close the door, and in the 4th set, they allowed St. Peter's back into the game to sneak out a Ryder with a 15-10 victory in the 5th and final set. Lindsey Brandt says the team has a few areas that they need to improve on.
We need to work hard in practice and learn how to finish. We started out really strong today and couldn't finish, so we'll be working on that this week.
Regardless of today's loss, the Bronx still have a wide open door at a shot at the MAC title.
We feel like the MAC is wide open this year, and we have played very well at times, and we've gotten pretty confident from that, but we haven't gotten the results on the floor. We're just going to keep plugging away. I mean, yeah, we can, it's never too late. We can still make a difference, a big push. Things can go our way.
With today's loss to St. Peter's, the Bronx dropped to a 1-7 in-conference record. With 10 games remaining on the schedule, all 10 against conference opponents, the Bronx look to rebound on their way to the MAC championship a little bit over a month away. For the Rider Sports Corner, I'm Matt Metzger.
Each week, Rider student body has the chance to ask Mike and Mark anything they want to know about sports. Mike and Mark, what do you have for us this week?
So, Mike and Mark, which NFL team do you think is the most disappointing?
Well, for most disappointing team, I'm going to have to go with the San Diego Chargers with a 2-3 rating. Yes, they're in a tough division in the AFC West, but I still think that they're not playing up to par.
I would have to go with the Seattle Seahawks because they play in a weak division and are 1-3, and they're only above the St. Louis Rams.
Okay, but how can you go with the Seahawks if every year it's up in the air? Most of the time, yes, they're best in their division. The Cardinals should be better than them. First of all, they have a
Cardinals
better
should
offense.
be better than them every year.
No. And the
Seattle
Chargers,
Seahawks dominate.
The Chargers.
Seattle Seahawks dominate that division every year.
The Chargers were losing to Oakland in the first quarter, 15-0. That is disappointing. Oakland has no reason to be in the game with the San Diego
Chargers were down 0-2 last year, and look where they ended up in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, but they didn't get shut out by the Dolphins on the 1-yard line.
That's true, but Seattle plays in such a horrendous division. The only one they beat was St. Louis.
That whole division's a disappointment.
I know, and that's why they should be dominating that division, which they do every year.
Which NFL player do you think is the most disappointing right now?
On to the most disappointing player in the NFL is definitely Derek Anderson of the Cleveland Browns. He had such a great year last year. This year should have been no different, and it just baffles me why he's struggling.
I'm actually going to have to go with Carson Palmer. I mean, to get away from statistics, he just does not show enough energy or life to even help his team come back in games that he needs to come back in to help the team get out of this slump that they're in.
It's not his fault. It's the defense because that offense puts up points.
So wait, it's not his fault that against the Giants he had 30 seconds on the 10-yard line to score and blew 15 of those seconds in order to take his time and call an audible.
Derek Anderson only has a 49% completion percentage.
He's
got 6 interceptions and 3 touchdowns.
That could go with drops, though, as well as throwaways if his line's not protecting him. Completion percentage is a slightly slanted statistic.
But the Bengals are putting up offensive points, and they have no run game.
The Bengals should have 2 wins right now. They should have beat the Cowboys, and they should have beat the Giants. But he took way too much time off the clock.
And the Cleveland Browns should have more than no wins.
He is not stepping up the way he should be.
Neither is Derek Anderson,
well,
and that's why he's a bigger disappointment.
They're both terrible. They're both terrible.
You're terrible.
You're terrible.
Who are you voting for the Heisman Trophy?
All right, Heisman candidate, I'm going to have to go with Sam Bradford from Oklahoma. I definitely think that, being the Big 12 North, they haven't played anyone real tough yet, but as a sophomore, he's showing some real potential, especially for his future.
I'm going to have to go with Chase Daniel out of Missouri. He's got a little bit more experience being a senior, and he's leading his team to a 5-0 record. I think he's having a great year.
Okay, Sam Bradford also led his team to 5-0 record, and he's only a sophomore. He's only had 2 years to start. The statistics are the same. They both have the same amount of passing yards, it was 1,665. He has more touchdowns. He may have 2 more interceptions, but less attempts at passing.
But Chase Daniel has a better completion percentage, and I don't think they're going to give it to a sophomore again this year. I think he's a little too inexperienced, and I don't think he's going to finish strong this year.
If he's so inexperienced, then why are they 5-0, and why does he match, if not pass, Chase Daniel in touchdowns?
Yes, but he also passes him in interceptions, too.
Okay, but
that's a big thing.
Right, but he has more touchdowns with less attempts.
I don't think they're going to give it to another sophomore. I don't think he's going to finish strong. I think Chase Daniel's going to finish strong, and I think Missouri is going to have a great shot at winning a bowl game.
Well, we're going to have to wait to the end of the year to see, but I definitely think Sam Bradford has it.
Do you think Barry Melrose is a better coach or analyst?
Barry Melrose, I thought he was a great analyst on ESPN for 13 years, but I don't think he's going to do that good of a job as a head coach in the NHL.
All right, I'm going to have to say that he should be a coach because I think the Lightning need help right now. I mean, they were 31-42-9 last year, and his first season he did bring them to the Stanley Cup, and the next 2 seasons he did take them to the playoffs. They may have lost, but he did take them to the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's just Tampa Bay needs so much help from so many other places. I don't think taking a person that hasn't coached in over 13 years is going to do much.
Okay, but do you not agree that you need to start with the head coach?
Yes, you do. That's why I think you need an established coach.
If they're not doing well right now, do you not think that they need to start with the coaching job and work down?
Yes, they do, but they need an established
coach. Maybe Barry Melrose is the only available coach right now.
No, they could take an assistant.
From a college level?
I think that would be better. Yes, because they've been coaching. This guy hasn't coached in 13 years.
But he has playoff and Stanley Cup experience. He may have lost.
Yes, but his last 2 seasons as a head coach were losing seasons. And he didn't get another job offer after that, except from ESPN.
I still think that he should be coaching. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning needs
I like watching him as a commentator.
You like watching ESPN. That's good.
I do.
Hey guys, I was wondering which men's college basketball team will be cutting down the nets at the end of the year?
All right, for college basketball, I'm going to have to say North Carolina. I definitely think they're the team to beat again this year. They have 6 returning starters. They put up a lot of points, 6 starters. So I'm definitely have to go with North Carolina.
I'm going to go with last year's number 1 from the West, UCLA. They went to 3 consecutive Final Fours, and they're going to do it again this year. And I think they have a great shot at going to the national title.
But didn't they lose one of their starters?
Yes, they did lose Kevin Love, but they still have Darren Collison, who should be in the NBA right now.
Well, I can make the same claim for Tyler Hansbrough, too. He was ranked 13th nationally, 1 in the conference, and 4th by position. He cannot be stopped. He should be in the NBA as well. If he entered the draft, he would have been in the first round, easy.
That's true. Then why didn't he enter the draft?
Because he's being smart. He's taking 1 more year. Why not?
You'd be smart and go for the money.
Why would you go for the money? 1 more chance at college experience before you get into the big world.
Because if he's as good as you say he is, he should be making like $4 million a year right after.
Really? Well, as good as this other kid says he is, he should be in there too.
Well, you're just contradicting your own argument, saying that he should stay.
If you're going to tell me that he should be in the NBA, then Darren Collison should be in the NBA.
But he's staying just to beat UNC in the finals.
Whatever you say.
That's what he's doing.
Whatever you say.
That's all we have this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mike and Mark. And now it's time for the Sports Corner recap.
Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight at Ryder. I'm Tom Malachi.
And I'm Olivia Hopp. Have a great week, Ryder.